Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Dr. Fish King 9. Welcome to a special top 6, which is a top 10. My top 10 favorite video games of 2014. My top 10 favorite video games 2014 edition. Now, I did my top 6 favorite video games last year, and this year I'm changing it up for 2014, doing a top 10, and these aren't any specific order, and because I can't really pick one over the other. I can pick one or two over the others. Like, say I had, I can pick one game over another game, but then there's another game that I can't pick that one over another game, and it's just one big hassle. So, but that's about it. So we'll start things all off with number 10, and this one, along with any other top 10 or any other top 6 I do, this is 110% opinionated. This is 106% opinionated. So feel free to leave your own top 6 or your own top 10 favorite video games down below in the comments below. And if you can't come up with 10, come up with like your top 5 or top 6 or whatever. So, let me know what those are down in the comments below, and we'll start things off with the first one, and that is Sonic Generations. Now, there's a lot of things that Sonic Generations did right, and there's not a lot of things they did wrong. They did many things correct. There wasn't too many things they did wrong. The voice acting was really good. The soundtrack is fantastic, probably my favorite soundtrack in any Sonic game. Mostly because you can get just about any song you want. There's just about every song in the game, in the series. There's a lot of great songs that they put into that game. So plus you can play Sonic 1 on that, and plus you can buy a little thing in the game. You can purchase one little thing with your points or whatever, with your boost points or whatever they're called, that you get from stages, to buy the Genesis controller thing, which allows you to play Sonic 1. And then there's a bunch of other stuff that's really cool about the game. So it's one thing that I really like about the game. And you got the music and everything like that. Stages were great. But that's on my list. That's in the 10. So we're gonna move things on to our second our second choice, and that is Crash Bandicoot 2. Crash Bandicoot 2 is not only not only one of my favorite video games, but it's also my favorite Crash game of all time. It's one of the only ones I really, truly enjoy. Now, I say that because it's not that I don't enjoy Crash 3. It's just I enjoy Crash 2 more, and then there's also Wrath of Cortex, which I don't mind. It's just some of the stages there's some stages in that game that weren't as good as levels in Crash 2 or anything like that, and Crash 2 had a lot of stuff to the game that Crash 1 didn't have, and fixed a lot of problems with Crash 1. So that's the reason why it's on here. So number 8, and then we'll move on to number 8 to our third choice, and that is Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past is my favorite Zelda game. I'm not a big fan of the 3D Zelda games, but the 2D Zelda games I really, really enjoy. Link to the Past, Zelda 1, Link Between Worlds are all amazing games. But Link to the Past is not only the first Zelda game I ever beat, but it was the first good Zelda game I ever played. Because when I was young, I got Legend of Zelda 2. Adventures of Link, I believe it was called, for the Game Boy Advanced. And that game was so bad. I hated every second of it. So, what did I do? Never really picked it up to play it anymore. So, and then for the Game Boy, I got Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. I loved that game. So much fun. And today it's still my favorite. First one I ever beat, first one I ever truly enjoyed playing, and everything like that. So, and back then, back when I was a little kid, I didn't really care what game I got. I was just happy with whatever game I got. If it was nowadays, and I hadn't played, if say I was I hadn't heard any information about Zelda 2 or Link to the Past, and I played Zelda 2 first, I would never want to pick up another Zelda game in my life. But because of it, I was able to try that one out, and I loved that game and everything like that. So, number 4. Number 4 is Sonic Rush. Sonic Rush is not only my favorite Sonic game of all time, but it's my favorite 2D Sonic game as well. It was also the first game I ever owned, and I loved that game. I love the game to death. It's so much fun to go back and play all the time, and easily recommend it to anyone. I can easily recommend that game to anyone, and it was just a great game, a fantastically made game by Dimps and everything in Sega. It was great. I loved it. The soundtrack to that game is fantastic as well, made by the people who made Jet's Grind Radio soundtrack, or Jet Set Radio if you live anywhere outside of the U.S. Now, so number 5 is Sonic Riders Zero Gravity. It's not only my favorite Sonic racing game, but it's also my third favorite racing game, my favorite Sonic racing game. And just the soundtrack is fantastic. It was also another one of the first Sonic games I ever owned. Beating that was the only games to beat that was Sonic Riders, or not Sonic Riders, Sonic Rush, and I believe Sonic Heroes for the PS2. Those are the only games to beat that out, and I just love the game. It's fantastic. But number 6 on this list is my second favorite racing game, which I'm currently playing right now, or was playing, but stopped to record this top 10, to record a video, is NASCAR Rumble for the PlayStation 1. NASCAR Rumble was like Toy Story Racer, one of the first video games I ever owned. It was one of the first games I ever owned. It was one of the first games I ever played. I loved the game to death. It's got just this nostalgic character that man. There's this one car in the game that I remember that there's this one car in the game that I love. It's just so much. It's so nostalgic because I remember when I was a little kid and everything like that, me and my dad were playing together because it was like early 2000s. I didn't really have many friends to play with and everything because I was a little kid. Just because I didn't really have any friends to come over and play video games with me. If I did play with my friends, we played outside and stuff like that, like a little kid would. And then, so me and my dad would always play this game together. And then we found this secret. We were just playing through one of the stages, and we found a shortcut. And because I was a little kid, I wasn't very good at the game. So I found this little shortcut. I found this golden wrench inside. Because this game's got This game's got tons of characters. This game has the largest roster in the history of NASCAR. In the history of NASCAR racing games, it's not only my favorite NASCAR racing game, but my second favorite racing game of all time. There's so much stuff done right with this game, and it's so much fun. There's so many cool little power-ups you can collect. It's so nostalgic. Something happened with our old copy, and then we found the golden wrench, and then we unlocked our first character ever. It was this truck. It was called Chicken Truck. I always called it the Chicken Truck. I still do to this day. I don't even know the official name of the car. But that's what I call it. I call it the Chicken Truck. It was this truck it's a chicken truck. And then you can unlock, and then after doing some stuff in that game, you can unlock harder difficulty. Not only do you unlock harder difficulties, but you also unlock better classes of the car. You got the basic, and then you got pro, and then you have elite, and the car gets better and better with each mode. And depending on which mode you pick, like if you pick the pro chicken truck car, chicken truck, then the CPUs you face will also be pro. If you pick elite, they'll all be elite. If you pick basic, they'll all be basic. It's a really nice attention to detail. Plus, in that game, you can get any item in any place you want. There's no red shells. there's no big blue shell. You can get a, let's see, there's a rocket, there's a bad gas, a bad oil, super tires, magic hammer, invincibility, twister, a freeze, a storm. There's no real big blue shell. There's a couple things that, plus the game, it's really, you can get any item in any place, because I was doing this one track, and I was in first place by like 20 seconds, and I got a rocket. I had these super tires on, I had a rocket, and I kept getting this Joker guy, which gives you a random item, or random power up or power down, depending on what you get. I had a rocket for half the race, because I kept getting those Jokers. Like, you have a, yeah, sure, you have a less, you can get any item in any place, you just have a less chance of getting it. Now, I really enjoy it. It's just so cool playing that game. Now, next on the list would be number 7, and that would be, no. Okay, I was right. Number 7 on the list is Pokemon, and that's Pokemon Platinum, because Pokemon Platinum wasn't my first Pokemon game I ever played. That was Diamond and Pearl, but it introduced me to my favorite Pokemon of all time, Gliscor, however you pronounce it. I pronounce him Gliscor, but you can pronounce him however you want to pronounce him. But it was the first generation to introduce Gliscor. Now, Gliscor, he's my favorite Pokemon of all time, as you guys should know if you've been following this channel recently. But not only that, it got me into the series of Pokemon. Generation 4, which was where Platinum came from, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, was the first generation was the generation that got me into Pokemon. And then I played the other 5. I played the other 3 generations before it. I played the 5th gen, and I've recently gotten Generation 6. I've recently gotten Gen 6, and I love it so much. It's so much fun. They're so much fun. I should have my top 6 favorite top 6 Pokemon generations should be out by the time this video comes out. But if it's not, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. I got a Pokemon generation top 6 Pokemon generations video coming out soon. Don't know when. Whenever I do get it up, though, expect to see it. Now, let's see. 8 is Toys. If you know me, if you've been following me ever since I started doing these top 6s, then you should know what this game should be. That's on this list for sure. And that is Toy Story Racer, my favorite video game of all time. I love Toy Story Racer. It's the first game I ever played. It's so much fun. It's got one of my favorite movies in there, characters and stuff, and I just love it. Despite playing it more, I've learned the flaws of the game, but it's just so nostalgic. I can see right past the flaws. Also, I can let the flaws go because it's a PlayStation 1 game, and PlayStation 1's going to have flaws. There's no PlayStation 1 game without any flaws, and it's just so. Let's see what else is there. So number 9. Oh my god, I'm losing my train of thought all of a sudden. What the hell? I had 10. Why can't I remember it all of a sudden? Oh, that's right. Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat. Now that's a couple Mortal Kombat games put into one. That's Mortal Kombat 2, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, Deception. Ultimate Mortal Kombat. Yeah. Well, yeah. My bad. Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat Deception, and Mortal Kombat 9 or Mortal Kombat 2011, depending on what you call it, or 2010, whatever year that game came out. The newest in the Mortal Kombat series. Those games, I love those Mortal Kombat games to death, and so much fun. Love them. They're really fun games to play. Just my cousin actually got me into those games, and so much fun to play those games and everything like that. I have so much fun because fighting games is my third favorite video game genre out there. You know, all these like little bits and pieces of information about me. I could make top 6s out of these myself. I could make top 6 video game genres, stuff like that. But I digress. Realizing I say I digress a lot in these vlogs. I say them a lot. Oh well. But what's it called? My bad. Felt a yawn coming on. But Mortal Kombat was not only the first fighting game I was ever introduced into. It was a video game series that my cousin introduced me into, and my cousin introduced me to a lot of series I still play today. He introduced me to Mortal Kombat, he introduced me to Mario and to Sonic. A couple others I can't think of off the top of my head. But the game was so much fun, and the games are really fun to play, and just the gore. It's probably the Mortal Kombat series the Mortal Kombat games are the only games above T on here actually. Let's see. Yeah, they're the only T-rated up games. They're all rated M though. So, but definitely, I love those games to death. They're really fun to play. I can easily recommend them to you. So we're gonna move on to our 10th and final pick of the game and that is Super Mario 3D World, the new Mario game that just came out a couple months ago. Came out a couple months ago. That game is fantastic. I love the game. It's my favorite 3D Mario game. It's my favorite Mario platformer. And it's just so much fun. I love it. There's so much stuff to the game. Luckily for me, I don't need online because none of my friends have Wii U's. Or one of my friends has a Wii U, but it doesn't really matter because he doesn't have the games I have. He's got this one game for Wii U that I could care less about. But I've got there's some other games that I don't really need online for that. I don't need online to play the multiplayer because I got my brother, I got my cousin. We play video games together at each other's houses all the time. It's so much fun. So that was my top 10. A quick honorable mention that a series I've recently been playing. I haven't played much of before, but I've recently gotten into, and I've played through probably around 10 of the 11 main games, and I've played 7 of the 8 games in one of the spin-offs. That is the Mega Man series. I've played Mega Man's 1 through 9 and also Base. I haven't played I've played 1 through 10. I haven't touched Mega Man and Base yet. Don't really want to, but I'm planning on to eventually. I've played through 7, Mega Man X 1 through 7. Haven't played 8 yet. That's my next big game. I'm going to be playing Mega Man. I'm going to get my hands on Mega Man 8. I haven't played Mega Man Legends or Mega Man 64 or whatever version you like to call it, because I haven't been able to yet. Although I'm considering it, I'm highly considering it. I've heard a lot of good stuff about the game. Heard there's some good stuff about it. I heard there's some bad stuff. I know this is one character, Tronbon, who's really funny. But but Mega Man was really close to being on the list, but it got beat out slightly by nostalgia. If I had played Mega Man back in the day, back when I was younger and stuff, back when PS1 was a thing, I definitely would have put this on the list. But because I didn't, and I never really heard much about Mega Man, I didn't really get one of those. That's a game I gotta make an investment in, the Mega Man Classic Collection. Because I have Mega Man's 1 through 7 on my laptop. And then there's Mega Man 8 for PS1. And I've got Mega Man 9 and 10 on my Wii. So, oh well. I'll try and get to it. But that concludes it. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.